Hi there, folks. Good morning. Welcome to Clock in the Gallop. It is a Sunday morning, the 6th of November. Happy to report that the weather's pretty good. It was very good yesterday. Unfortunately, as I was saying on the Take a Bet show to Chloe Andrews this morning, the decision to move the meeting wasn't only affected by the weather, but there was also a major water outage in the Turffontein area scheduled for yesterday, Saturday. So I think that made up their minds. Lyall Cooper, good morning.
Good morning to you, Nico. Yeah, they made the decision early, which is the good news. Yeah, and the other good news is looks like a lovely day. Looking forward to it. And the going's good too, 23.
Yeah, going's good. The weather forecast is good too. A little bit of wind in the air. I mean, a bit of wind to go about though.
Good. Yeah, I think that's good though. Dried out a bit.
Well, I know that you're working out there today. I've got the day off, so I'll be taking a time out with my kids today. But we're going to go through the meeting today, take you through all the latest changes as well, as I'm armed with those. So I'll refer to those during the course of the day. Race 1, a maiden plate over 1,160 meters, and you'll hear our famous Hardy Dars. Listen to them.
They're gonna. No, you know what? I'm just looking at you. I just cannot stop thinking about this cricket. We lost to the Netherlands.
Oh, yes. So let's talk about that quickly. They were 7-100 this morning, South Africa.
Yeah.
And
I mean, come on.
Did you watch any of the game? I'll tell you when I switched on, when I woke up.
Yeah.
It was Themba Bavuma speaking. Yeah. And the moment I saw him, he didn't have to say one word. I knew they'd lost. It's amazing. I saw him. He didn't say a word. And I said, they've lost.
Unbelievable. That's so sad.
Very sad.
Anyway, we've been playing so well. Anyway,
they're coming home. I think the interviewer actually said that when the interviewers closed off the interview with just one phrase, which captured all of South Africa's interest in cricket at the moment: enjoy the flight.
So it's going to be a long flight.
It's going to be a long flight.
Not nice.
By the way, did you watch the Breeders' Cup last night? The Breeders' Cup Classic?
No. Please tell me. No, I was fast asleep.
Flight Line won by 8 1/4 lengths.
Wow. So unbelievable individual.
It thrashed Life is Good, who's one of the best horses around.
Yeah. That is amazing.
8 1/4 lengths. It was a pleasure to watch. And I think he is a phenomenon. He's one of the best I've seen in my time. Just the way that he dispatched the field. And they went, you must watch the race. They went
how fast they went.
Full tilt. They went full tilt for 2,000 meters. Full tilt for 2,000 meters on the dirt. And
was he near the front? Was he at the front?
He was second. He was second with Life is Good, but he completely destroyed. He spat them all out, and he just ran away at the front.
Wow!
It was
champion, absolute champion. Yeah. I will watch it after this. I promise.
Please do yourself a favor. Watch that, because you're not going to see a more terrific performance from a racehorse in the modern era. Anyway. Okay, we're going to move on to our betting for the first race. Whilst we do that, let's go to the first race of the day. Race 1, scratched on numbers 9, Joyous Jubilee, and 13, 7 Wonders. No Alamites for number 6, Fish Eagle. Cheap pieces go on 3, Circus Lights. 2 first-timers in the race. What is Lyall Cooper interested in here?
Well, I did look at the first timers, Nico. The 6 Fish Eagle, the 10 Melek, is it? Melek? Is that right?
I think it's Melek. I'm not sure whether it's Melek, yeah.
And then New Mexico. And all 3 of them have speed in their pedigree. And then all of their mares, in fact, all 3 of their mares won over 1,000 meters. So I'm certainly going to be watching them. I'm interested to look at your screen and see if there's any money for them. Of the race runners, number 7, Fosti Novo, Gavin Darina, Johan Janssen Thurn, drawn well. And we must discuss that draw quickly. There has been rain, so the draw will more than likely be on the outside in the straight. I think those two runs are good enough to make this a strong runner. The mare also was very speedy, obviously by Flower Alley, 1160, no problem. And then the 2 Fort Apache, well, but has been a little bit off them. So I'm quite strong on the 7, Nico, and the first timers I'm going to watch carefully.
Yeah, I agree with you. There was huge talk about Foster Nova on debut. I don't know if you worked that day at the track.
I did.
They didn't want to know about the source. And, both runs have been around the turn. And I think they made a conscious decision. Let's go back to basics and put the source up the straight, rather. Let's put it up the straight, and no excuses for it. And I think this is the right horse. The last run, even though it ran 8 lengths to Unzen, it runs to a 91 plus, would be its race
Exactly.
coming up, because Unzen's 108. So I believe, barring any money for first timers, which if we look, there is a bit of money for New Mexico around the son of Ideal.
Okay.
He's the full brother to Ulalate.
All right.
So there's money for that, but Ulalate's more effective over a bit further. So you'd have to think Foster Nova would probably open up our meeting today.
Agreed with that.
First of the day. Just one other horse, actually, quickly, number 12, the Stable Companion, one step at a time. I know this horse is meant to come out a couple of times now and is making his debut today. And the half brothers are always called One Way or Another. I'll tell you quickly about him. He was by Vercingetorix, who was trained by Roy Magna. He had one run. Everyone raved about the run. He was exported to Hong Kong and was never seen again. So,
wow.
So that was it. But he came out on that one run and he blitzed them. To see, he was by Vercingetorix, one step at a time. Number 12 is by Dynasty. So just bear that in mind. Maybe
I'm thinking a bit sharp. Obviously a bit sharp for this one, but we'll watch.
But have a look at him. Have a look at him and see what he looks like.
I will.
In the
Thank you.
So race 1 is not part of the exotics. As we move on now to race number 2, let's go to the second race, which is the start of the bipod. It's a maiden plate fillies and mares over 1,160 meters. And here's the betting for this one. There's a favorite in the race, number 14, Sea Anemone, is now 9 to 10, but was 9 to 10. There was a bit of money into 8 to 10 because the money's come from Mighty Goddess, number 4, in from 7 to 2 and 4 to 1 into 3 to 1. Now, this horse was meant to make its debut last weekend on Saturday on the Charity Mile Day. It was carded to run as number 18, I remember it, but it didn't get in because the scratchings took place after the reserve runners fall away. I think the reserve runners fall away at 8:15 in the morning. And Mike de Kock was really peeved off that this horse didn't make its debut last week. And he told me at the course last week that he really likes this horse and been showing very, very good work at home. So I would think from all the reports that are coming through that this will go close, See an Enemy, to winning today.
Yeah, Nick, I agree. I think this is a bit of a match race, this one, between number 14, of course, Elboran C, the mare. Obviously, we know how good she is, and we've heard that talk from even before she made her debut, which she never ran on. So that's the one for me. And horse will have to beat. If she makes any mistakes here, Mighty Goddess, I do think, will pick up the pieces and beat them if the first timer makes mistakes. If you look at her form lines, Nico, they're quite ridiculous. Running 2 3/4 lengths behind Maharani, Sweet Peppers in there, Feather Boas in there, Gobsmacks in there, Ryan Munger. It's not the best draw, but in this field, Ryan might be able to move her over to the middle, and I thought she could give the favourite a go, or if the favourite fluffed her lines, I think that's the one. Another one I'll keep an eye on is number 11, Let's Cruise. Wasn't the worst debut in the world. And then the value for me is going to be number 16. Looking at the bottom there, 25 to 2. Because of Fabian's comment, he did say working well and a place chance, and that's an unusual comment for Fabian. So I'll put that in. But for me, 14, if all goes well, 14 from 4, and then 16. I don't think anything else can get involved.
Yeah, I'm interested you found the 11, Let's Cruise, because I think she ran fair enough on debut. I think she's got a bit to find and a bit more to improve on, but I think she will improve on that run. Just in terms of the first timers, I think there are quite a few over here. I don't know if anything came out at me. Maybe a little bit of the 6 Bushveld, which is the other Habib horse in the race. Bushveld was at 50 to 1. I don't think it was particularly well fancied. I'd be watching out for that because any progeny will give me the green light. Always my ears prick when I see that. The fillies that are out of Russet Savannah, let's look at this. This is what I wrote here. The daughters of Russet Savannah. The colts have not performed, but the daughters, she's had 3 fillies and all have won. So I wrote a note about that 50 to 1 outsider, number 6 Bushveld. Also Habit. Okay, just quickly, the jockey change on number 5. Wow, it's Chase Morjean. There's a jockey change there. And number 5 races with a Cornell collar. I've just updated my changes now. Note that Rachel Vinegar is riding in Durban, and she's got a good car to ride in Durban. She rides for Michael Roberts. Okay, let's move on to race 3, the start of the place accumulator. This is a graduation plate over 1,400 meters. We have taken a bet today. I've taken a bet with the tab for racing app, and we've taken a place accumulator. So that's our take a bet choice today. Now let's look at the graduation plate over 1,400 meters. In the third race, number 6, Antigua Knight, races with a compression mask on. That's the change. And there's a short price favorite here. Number 1, Quantum Theory, 7 to 10 or 7.5 to 10. They're betting 7 to 2. I Am Giant in his comeback run, and 9 to 2 Swing Upon a Star. What did you think, Lyall?
1, 2, 3, 6. End of story, Nico. Yeah, Quantum Theory waited to win. Just to give the punters out there the form lines, when winning that maiden, well, you know, that maiden win beating Laguna Verde, East Coast was behind. Mercantile, when running second to Profit last time, Riverdiccio and Bless My Stars behind. Very, very strong form lines. This is the horse to beat. Number 2, Swing Upon the Star, obviously arrives here with some good form as well. The 3, I Am Giant, could be anything. So that's an interesting runner for me. And then number 6, the filly at the bottom, I thought would be the value at 14 to 1 for a place. And there's only 6 horses here. But on 1 or 2 of the best runs, not bad at all. But Quantum Theory really should win this race, Nico.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Quantum Theory is definitely the horse to beat. Yeah, it's a prohibitive odds, 7 at 72 to 100 or 7.2 to 10. But as you say, course and distance, 2 runs, 2 wins. Muzayeni, 4 rides, 2 wins, a second and a third. I think that is really made PA banker for me in the first leg.
Yeah.
I Am Giant still has to prove himself. He's much vaunted and he is a spectacular looking horse. I think he'll come on with a run, Swing Upon a Star, probably a little bit better than its second last time out. And then I've always liked a bit of Mo Jive, but I don't think at the weight here that he can win it. But certainly I'll be watching him with a little bit of interest. But I do believe Quantum Theory is the horse to beat. Let's go to the pick 6 open.
I did speak to Farney, and he said, "Yeah, horse is doing well. Must have some sort of chance."
Yeah, I like that horse. I actually also have spoken to Farney about it, and he's gone on a little bit about it before to me. Okay, race 4, the start of the pick 6 at 13:35. It's a merit rated 93 open handicap, and it is over the distance of 1,800 meters. In race 4, no scratchings to take note of. In fact, there are no changes whatsoever. So let's go straight to the betting. The favorite here, Meridius, 16.5 to 10 or 33 to 20. There's been money for African Torrent. Now look at this. The son of Trippy opened up at 12 to 1 and is coming all the way to 5 to 1. So the money clearly around for African Torrent number 6. But sandwiched in between those, you've got Atticus Finch at 9 to 2 and Ignatius at 4 to 1. And then you've got Simple 11 to 2 and Lebetcha at 7 to 1. Now this outwardly might look pretty easy, but this race isn't as easy as it purports to be.
Now, we know these young horses, Nico. You know, when I actually made my final selection, I didn't even put numbers. I agree with you. I thought it was a very difficult little race, this one. Meridius is obviously the horse to beat her. Son of Caneford Cliffs, Ashley Fortune, Gavin Larena, drawn nicely, and obviously quite a few of them trying the trip for the first time as well. But that second by Feather Boa really is eye-catching. On that run there, Meridius is going to be my first selection. I thought 1 simple, obviously a big runner on form, Atticus Finch. And then interesting to hear you talk about that money for African Torrent. Could be anything, as could be Ignatius, number 4. So I agree, Nico, it's a trappy little race, but I do like number 2. On the run to Feather Boa, I do think Meridius will be literally right on the scene. But after that, wow. I think we need to go a bit wider in the first leg of the pick 6, Nico.
Yeah, I'm worried about this race. I must say openly that I'm worried about it. I don't think it's as easy as it first looks. And I'll tell you why. Whilst Meridius has won over 1,600 meters, this is 1,800 meters. It's run well and run on over 1,450. But the mother was a sprinter, Zilly, and the half-brother, Nvidia, didn't see over further than 1,400. But this looks like he can see out a trip. So I'm not saying for 1 minute he won't see out the trip, but I'm just worried with the 1,800 meters on the stand side track. So therefore, I think he's vulnerable. Atticus Finch is a horse that I'm sure will much prefer the 1,800 meters on the stand side track, being a master my fate. I think he'll run okay and run really
well.
Lebetcha won over the 60. Lebetcha will have no problem with the course and distance. He won by 8 3/4 lengths. He disposed of them in true fashion last time. It wasn't the strongest of fields, but all he could do was win. And then African Torrent definitely would have to come into it now after that last one, also probably looking for a trip. So I find this a tough race. I think in the pick 6, just please don't be fooled and go a little bit wider than you would ordinarily do, I think.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Wider than you think.
Okay, so we agree on that. That isn't a nice contest. Let's go to race 5. Race 5 is a Pinnacle Stakes at 10 past 2. It's over 1,160 meters. Here you can scratch horses number 6, Clafouti, and 7, Good Queen Bess. So only 5 go in here. You got the feeling that the cock probably put those horses in to keep the race alive. I think trainers do that sometimes when they want a special horse to run. And this horse is special. But Mike de Kock well documented on the exploits of Desert Miracle, saying, we're going back to the sprinting trips. We think we've been going too far with her. We're testing. She's got issues. She's a bleeder, and she's got respiratory issues. So we've reverted back to the sprinting trip, and they've kept the tongue tie on. And also he said in his interview, if you listen to the one that Andrew Bond did with him, he said, look, Simanga Kamala was not at fault last time out for getting beat by the stable companion Humdinger. My instructions were to let this horse settle and run on. And that's exactly what he did. So she is the class package here, isn't she, Desert Miracle?
Oh, she's absolute class. Imagine how good she would have been if she didn't have these issues. She just, you know, when she came through and beat the boys, I mean, when she beats a horse like Pyromaniac by 4 3/4 lengths, it just tells you how good she is. But yeah, Simanga drawn on the wrong side of the track, I do make her, you know, hard to beat. She's just such a talented individual. But you and I were chatting earlier about moonshining through. 3 from 4, and she had excuses in the other one. And then Sweet Pepper, I do want to mention. And also thought Kayla's Champ at a nice price. I spoke to Fani, and he said a sneaky little chance in this race. Yeah, she's very well. I'll put in. You know, I don't think she can beat the top one, but I think she could have a place chance. So if the 2 doesn't come through, which I think she will, then 3, 5, and 4 to be involved as well.
Okay, so that's a look at that race. We do like Desert Miracle. We think she'll go close to winning. Moonshining Through with an interesting horse. We did discuss it, as you said. You know, nothing went right last time out, and she's got the earmuffs back on, but nothing went right for her last time out, and she still won comfortably. She beat a good horse and Swing Up on a Star. And then you've got Sweet Pepper. We want to mention Sweet Pepper because she did nothing wrong in Joburg before she went down to Durban, and I think she'll run a lot better than she did behind Amina last time out. So
and she runs well fresh. Sweet Pepper runs well fresh, so don't ignore her.
Yeah, she does run well fresh, and the Tarry stable is certainly coming back to some decent form. Okay, let's move on to the listed Gardenia Stakes, race 6 on the card. It's 1,000 meters, runs at 2:45. I'll just quickly tell you what the changes I've got over here are. In race 6, number 14, Showtime, has a tongue tie. So put a tongue tie on Showtime down at the bottom there. Right, let's go to the betting. It's 3-1 Epico. Now, Epico has been an absolute revelation in recent times. She's now going for 5 in a row. Stable are confident with a good shame because they like her draw of 14. She's 3-1. Big Burn at the top is at 4-1. There's money for Flower Bomb into 8-1. And then Kissing Point number 2 is at 10-1. Can I go first with this one?
Please do.
I must tell you that last time out, okay, I had my doubts about Big Burn when it ran in that race to Humdinger and to Desert Miracle. Yes. When she came out on the track, I was watching her very, very closely. When she came out onto the course from the chute, so she comes out the chute, she steps on the course. It looked for some reason that she stumbled. I don't know what it was, or she took the wrong footing. And there and then, I had made my decision that she wasn't going to run her race, and it did run accordingly. And it says post-race distress. And she's obviously changed her surroundings and so forth, and she's now been at Tarry's for a while. Lyall, even though she carries 61.5, I made her a hard horse to beat. I think she's a class package. Look at her course form: 7 runs at Turffontein, 3 wins, 3 seconds and a third, and you know, she's only run once over the 1,000 where she ran second. She's very quick. I believe, for me, that if Epico is going to win, she's got to beat Big Burn.
I'm very glad you said that, Nico. I agree with you 100%. And we haven't chatted about this.
No, we haven't.
Big Burn, I mean, not only that she runs well in the wet, she loves the course. The distance is fine. And just a list of what she's running. Group 3, listed Group 3, Grade 1, Grade 1, Grade 1, Grade 2, second to Masters Archie, 1.5 lengths behind Captain Ransom, and then 1.25 lengths behind Captain Ransom. I mean, for goodness sakes, you're not going to get much stronger form than that. So,
absolutely.
My first strong selection as well with you, Nico. I've got a few value bets for everyone. I thought Remember When, at a big price with Randall Simons aboard, could just sneak into the money here and have a good run. Obviously, we'll mention Ipico, and then I want to mention number 3, Casa Inverno, and number 7, Miss Cool. But I'm with you, Nico. Big Burn. I was actually, she's been very good to me, and I'm going to stick with her today.
Absolutely, I agree there. I mean, I did see, I sent you a note earlier this morning to send me your selections just to have a look at them. But obviously, I make up my own. Remember When was the horse I was a bit worried about, because I know that she likes it fairly quick out there too. And I saw that you're pretty high up in your estimations too. So for me, it's Big Burn ahead of Ipico and Remember When. But I was.
Oh, you also like Remember. I didn't know you also like Remember When.
Yes, I liked it for a place. I did like it for a place.
Yes, me too.
Yeah,
me too.
I like it for a place. But my firm choice is the package, is the class package Big Burn.
Yeah. I love Big Burn. Yeah.
You know,
big fan.
Sean Terry knows how to train these sprinters. In fact, Big Burn's major rivals when it was with Paul Peter were the horses from Sean Terry's yard, the filly sprinting Sean Terry's yard. So,
Nico, just 2 comments I've got. What a Honey, I spoke to Lucky, said would prefer 1,200 meters. This is number 11, but just hoping to get a place black type. And number 14, Showtime. Corey Lindsay saying, nice weight, quartet. Don't leave out of the quartet, number 14. Good quartet horse.
Okay, Showtime. And they've changed the equipment there. They've got a tongue tie on now. Correct.
Well, okay, if I can, if you look at the prices there, Flower Bomb's 8-1 and Showtime's 16-1. Showtime is 3 kilograms better off for 1 3/4 lengths. Yeah. So that really is value for that quartet.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. That's Showtime. I've got a tongue tie on today, and Caden Brewer has been in terrific form too.
Badly drawn.
Yeah, that's race 6. Let's move on to the big one today, the Grade 3 tab for racing Victory Moon Stakes over 1,800 meters. I just want to quickly update the changes before you and I run through this. Scratched, no scratchings here. Nebros, number 5, is the mount of Diego de Gavea. Number 15 in Lyall is now in Pumi Majorca. Right.
I'm glad he's getting a ride.
Yeah. 4-second base.
He's such a lovely young man, by the way.
No, he's a fantastic. I spent some time with him at the airport in the Eastern Cape and was going through his journey through horse racing. And he's really He's really confident, a confident lad. After what he's been through, he had a broken leg and was out for quite a while. But it's amazing how he's come back, and well done to him. Earmuffs off number 4-second base, by the way. And they've put them on, they've taken them off again. And then Zilzal, no blinkers, number 6 rather, Zilzal, no blinkers. And 13 out of the darkness, they put earmuffs on. So there's just a few equipment changes over there. Right, let's talk about this one. The return of the Hollywood Bets Durham July winner, Sparkling Water. That's the favorite at 3-1. Now, Mike de Kock has gone on record saying its main mission is not this, it is the Summer Cup, the Betway Summer Cup now. And that runs at the end of the month in a few weeks' time. So you and I have chatted about this now. This is the one race we have because of the delay, and you and I went through exactly what we thought and all that. And both of us are on the same horse, and both of us think that what Sparkling Water did last year in this race was Sparkling Water, if you look back at the profile, came into this race last year, run on the 6th of November, 2021. It's the 6th of November, 2022. It's exactly 1 year later. It carried 50 kilograms and it won this race. And it's a filly. Now there's one filly in this race carrying 50 kilos, and it's down at the bottom of the card here, number 17, Perfect Witness. And you and I both thought this was our likely winner of the Victory Moon today.
Yeah, we couldn't believe her price. And it's still 8-1, Nico. Drawn for Candace Dawson. I chatted to him. They did say expecting her to be right there. She's a very talented filly. And, you know, that run behind Porto Manzano was a very, very good run. And on that run there, I'm giving her the winning chance in this race, just particularly on that run there. But she's got the form, 50 kilograms. She's going to think she's free. She's obviously a really big runner. I did speak to Samanga Kamala about Sparkling Water. My first question to him was the draw. He said, no, he's not worried about the draw. But being off the rest and going for bigger and better things. So prep run, obviously. William Robertson, the trip is the question mark. But, wow, this horse is unbelievably talented. I wouldn't let him get too far away. And then, Nick, I've just got 2 more I want to mention. Second base, Nebras. Those two for places. And then I wanted to get your thoughts on Out of the Darkness. That's a horse you and I really didn't chat about. Badly drawn.
Yeah, not the best of draws, but they've got quite a while to get across. I see they put the earmuffs back on, ran well with the earmuffs last time out, Lyall. And I think it comes into the race with a big chance. You know, I said to you the other day that I believed that the winner would come from number 8 down. That's from Fine Odyssey, who's now back in Joburg down. And then when we were sifting through it, I don't know about the 3-year-old East Coast. I'm not convinced. You know, if you look at East Coast actual rating, it's rated 90. So it's rated 106, but if you take the weight for age, it's only a 90. It really has to lift its game. I mean, compared to Perfect Witness is a 108, and this is carrying a kilo more. You can't see it. You can't see East Coast beating Perfect Witness. But
unlikely.
The one horse I can see running a huge race here is Zeus. Now, that's one horse that I wouldn't put anyone off. And Zeus, for me, if it returns back to its run where it ran second in the Derby to Aragosta, we know there's no stamina limitations on Zeus. And I like the booking of Van der Merwe, though. So this is my kicker, Zeus, at 16-1. He's my outsider in the race. But I do believe that Perfect Witness is the value in the race. And like you, I cannot believe it's still 8-1 on a Sunday morning because it's well exposed. The point is that it's carrying no weight. I mean, it is weighted to come through and excuse the French, shit in. That's what it's weighted.
Correct. It really is. Yeah.
So
brilliant form.
Okay.
I spoke to JP. He did say on best Zeus would be a player. That was JP's thoughts.
Did he say that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Yeah, I like his booking on it. Okay, so we move on from that. I mean, it's well documented. We're very firmly in the camp of Perfect Witness. We were in the camp of, most of us were in the camp of Bingwa last week. Now, just looking at that, Bingwa beat Puerto Manzano, and this horse, Perfect Witness, ran half a length behind Puerto Manzano, receiving 8.5 kilos, but it's receiving that from these horses. So I don't know. I don't know how it's still there. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on.
That Puerto Manzano bingo form line is on the table with Perfect Witness.
Correct. It's there.
Correct.
It's proven. That was in the Jubilee, the run-up race to the July. I don't know what. I don't know. Maybe the bookmakers are trying to take us on. I don't know. Okay, race 8 is off at 5-4. It's a merit-rated 73 handicap, and it's run over 2,400 meters. I just want to have a look at the changes here. I know that number 4, Kate Bouquet, came through as a scratching, so that is out. And there's also another change, number 1, Alphatic. They put the blinkers on. And Mike did say this horse is looking for this distance and more. And that's the favorite at 2-1. They've got 3-1 Royal Mazarin Flag Bearer, and then 9-2 Go Dream Machine. What worries me about Alphatic is it's got a shoulder 60, but it did dispose of Lebetio, who runs in that fairly strong race earlier on. If you look at that race earlier on, Lebetio will get a good angle on how Alphatic's going to run, because Lebetio runs in a very strong race for 3-year-olds. And Alphatic may come out as the right horse. But having said that, I like the old, well, not the older horses, Flag Bearer. It's the same age, but Flag Bearer has to get 5.5 kilograms from Alphatic.
I'm with you, Nico. My first selection is Flag Bearer. And I chatted to Barney. He's expecting a really good run here. He's my first selection. From the other 4-year-old, the filly, Go Dream Machine, then Royal Mazarin, and only then Alphatic. So I'm going 5, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I'll be looking at Alphatic closely, because I thought that he needed a further trip last time out. It didn't look like he'd got into the stride. But Royal Mazarin interests me with the booking of Kamalo. I know he's ridden him a couple of times before. He hasn't performed with him. But I made Flag Bearer the value in the race here at 3-1. And I certainly put Royal Mazarin, the 2 3-1 chances in with a hope here. So for me, my 2 were 5 and 2. Yeah. Okay,
so let's have our 1 coffee. You take Royal Mazarin. I'll take Go Dream Machine. How about that?
Okay. No, that's fine. I'll take Royal Mazarin. Has to give Go Dream Machine half a kilo. But that's fine. That's fair. That's one of those.
There's our coffee.
Because we had our last coffee wasn't. Our last coffee was the Union Square debacle, where I said it wasn't.
Yeah. You beat me though, didn't you?
No, you beat me. But I said we'd call it quits because it was half a length, and the prices were, one was 5 or 6-1, the other was 40-1. Yeah. So we said
that's called clever betting, Nico. Clever betting. Okay.
The last race of the day at 4:30 is a maiden plate for 3 odds over 1400 meters. Important to note, guys, that there is now a late scratching here. The horse, I think both of us might end up have gone with Black Egret. Number 4 is a late scratching,
Yes.
as is the earlier scratching of 10, which is Rosalind. So Black Egret was 9-4 was the favorite, and I really thought it would go close over here. Also in race 9, number 9, Midnight Crystal is now ridden by Chase Morjan, and those are the changes in the last race of the day. So scratched here are 4 and 10. Now the betting will be adjusted a bit, and Puerto Plata is now the new favorite. Puerto Plata, number 6 at 5-2. He's related to Puerto Manzano, and a lot was said about him first time out. He's certainly bound to improve. They've also got a first timer, Sharapova makes her debut, superbly bred. Mike said, very nice filly, wants more than this trip, but will run well and will come on with the run. That was his comment on Sharapova. What do you like?
Yeah. Well, any friend of Mother Russia is a friend of mine, the powerful Mother Russia family. Wow. So yeah, as soon as I saw the mom there, my eyes just couldn't stop looking at it, and I can't wait to see her in the flesh. But yeah, now that Black Egret's out, it just makes this race, well, a bit thin, to be honest. Puerto Plata, yes, maybe improve and come through and win by 10, but we'll need to improve. Manuel Simons for Johan Jans van Vuren, and beautifully bred as well. I obviously mentioned that one. Sharapova from the draw of 1 with Samunga aboard. You'll watch out. She just could come through and win on debut. And then, Nick, I thought a horse like number 1, Sylvan Theatre, now with a scratching of Black Egrets. Muzieni Mike de Kock, was only a length behind Black Egrets on that last run. So I'm probably going to go with this one from the first timer.
Yeah. Look, I don't like this race now that it's, if Black Egret was in, I'd tip it confidently, I think, because of what I saw last week. But obviously it hasn't come out of that fully fit and ready to go again. So this race interests me. I've got utmost respect for de Kock's first time as Sharapova, as I have with a stable companion, Sylvan Theatre. I took Billy Spellbound last time out, and he ran a good enough race to Sam the Wise Man. I think he'll improve further for the son of William Longsword. Stella Clavis would have to have an outside chance. Puerto Plata, I think, is much vaunted. I think there's a few in here with chances. I think you're advised to probably put in a few. If you want to go through the last leg of the pick 6, be very careful in this last leg.
Well, you say that, Nico, but all you need really, because the first timers, is 1, 2, 3, and 6, really. So it's not that bad.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, and 6. Well, extending this Wonder World, I see, is being gelded. Was gelded at the back end of August.
Okay. Throw it in.
You might want to chuck that in, but I'm worried about this last leg. We're not worried about too much, but we're worried about 2 of the 9 races, and this is one of the 2.
Yes. Yeah, this is one of them.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Okay, well, that's where we'll leave it.
Well done, Nico.
2 minutes left. I think we've summed it up as the only way we can do. I know that Neil Andrews will be looking to do a price booster later, so he'll come through with some sort of avenue on that. And we've got a Take a Bet show. Myself and Chloe have already done that show this morning, and it focuses on a place accumulator, which starts in race 3. I know you're working out there today. I know you've got to get going.
Yep.
Have a great day's racing at Turffontein, and I have no doubt we'll chat during the course of the next week. Have a great Sunday, Lyall.
Thank you, Nico. You too.